Good morning and welcome back to another special project Sunday here on Gaming with ADHD, where today we are going to continue working on this Mass Effect statue. I have put it off for apparently 6 weeks now. I thought it had only been like 2, but no, apparently I am a complete and utter slacker. Or if we want to be more charitable, like Kim said, totally ADHD. So, there's that. But anyways, I hope you all have been having a good weekend so far. Hopefully this will just be a nice, chill, Sunday afternoon hangout, and we can just talk games or, my lack of knowledge of Mass Effect, and just, have some fun for an hour or two, depending on how long the wife allows. I'm being a little sarcastic. She's fine, but it'll depend on when the kids come over for dinner. All sorts of... Man, I am rambling today. Holy crap. I've had like 4 hours of sleep, folks, so bear with me. Anyhow, so I'm trying to find the pictures for reference, which I probably... I was already late anyways. Why didn't I just find those? But I've got them here somewhere if my folder ever updates. I really need to go through and clean out my folder where all of the videos get saved to. Because there's a lot in there that I probably don't need anymore. All right, so... is it? Yep, here it is. Okay, so... let's do this. All right, let's present and share screen. I don't want to edit my images in AI. Nope, not that. There we go. All right, so here's our statue, more or less. At least this is roughly what I'm going for. Come on, folks. This is me we're talking about. I'm not that great a painter. So, I don't expect a whole lot from myself, but we'll see how it goes. Anyways, this is more or less what I'm going for. Hi, Shadowcat. I don't know when N7 Day is. I never played well, okay, let me rephrase that. I played Mass Effect for about an hour total across all of the games. So this is actually a special project for a friend of mine. Oh, wrong folder. Or wrong image. Anyways, November 7th. I probably could do that. No, I can't. I can't do that because I will be out of town. Said I'm not taking this statue with me at all. But yeah, so this is more or less what this is the first one. I've got all the files to do all of the crew, but this is the one that my friend wanted first, so this is what we are working on. But yeah, no, I will absolutely not be available on November 7th, so definitely not happening. That would be cool though. Would definitely fit in. So good morning, Grim. No, this isn't late. This is 3:45 in the afternoon. And I hold on, folks. I did my time at church today. So went and had a good first hour. We ditched second hour though, because I was up all night. So I did church and then I came home and I got some sleep. So I like that better. Sorry, folks. I'm looking at paint. And yeah, Shadowcat, I don't disagree. But I will literally be on the other side of the country. So because I am in Arizona and I will be in Alabama. So you are right in that it would be awesome. Ooh. I think I like that one. That one's gonna be, yeah, I got some good colors here. So all right, I think I'm actually ready now. Actually, oops. Oh, well, that's interesting. I painted this all flesh colored, but apparently, this up in here, I didn't realize. All right, well, it's really all I have to worry about is just up in here for what I'm trying to do. So that's good. I believe you are right, Shadowcat. Yes. I don't think it's out yet, though. Or is it? Yeah, okay. So the board game is under... Oh my gosh. Like, Modifius, get your act together. Like, their webs... Oh. This is a pre-order. Shipping is expected to begin early October 2024. So maybe it's shipping. Maybe it's not shipping. I have no idea. But yeah, it's through Modifius. And I don't know anything about it. I will probably not buy it, though. But I'm not going to get into that. Okay, so we have... All right, so this is going to be a lot of little detail work today. Because basically... yeah, no, it's done by Mass Effect, it's done by Modifius, who generally does some really good games. I just I just don't care for the designer, to be honest with you. And so I don't buy their games. Because I don't think they want me to buy their games. So I am perfectly happy to oblige them. But yeah, I will say this much. If you are into board games, Modifius does good stuff. I've got a few of the 2D20 games as well. I've also got what is it? Why is my brain turning off? Mutant Chronicles. Siege of the Citadel. That's it. I have Siege of the Citadel. Which that was a bit of a mess. All right. So yeah, let's see here. Let's zoom in. Because we are literally just working face today. Too much blood in the caffeine system. So yeah, I mean, I would say if you're a big fan of Mass Effect, then I would say you're probably pretty safe if you want to pick up the board game, because yeah, licensed board games always are rough. Well, not always, but I mean, like, yeah, you're talking like, hey, look, it's Clue with a Scooby-Doo theme on top of it. Or like the worst is when you get like a board game that like to say that it was phoned in would be high praise, you know. Just like the old like the licensed board games we would get back in the 80s. That just like universally sucked. Um, 1980, I was 5. Yeah, I was. I mean, technically, I was 4. But yeah, regardless, like the board games that would come out in those days were just trash. To be kind, I would say that they were trash. Like, I'm not even trying to say like for their era, for any era. I mean, you may not like Monopoly, but there's a solid design there. Well, okay, Game of Life. Okay, see, Game of Life is different because it's not great, but there's a decent game underneath it. It is a rather simplistic game, you know, especially by modern standards. But it was a game designed, you know, to be what it is. Whereas, like, usually when you would see a licensed property, at least back in the 80s, it always seemed more like a cash grab as opposed to an honest desire to make a good game. You know, they were probably just like, well, let's amuse an 8-year-old for a couple of hours. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to say that Game of Life is like the best, but compared to some of those where it's like, oh, here's game, and you know, like it's usually just like a simple roll and move, or so Grim, I do and I don't agree with that. Like, it absolutely is cash grabby. It is straight like they're not really doing anything extra. It's just a cash grab. However, you know, it's the one saving grace I will give to reskins is they're not trying to sell you a different game. They're just trying to sell you Monopoly with a different skin on it. and you still know what you're going to get from Monopoly. They may put like a special mechanic in so that it has like a little bit more flavor, but usually it's just the skin. But I'm talking like the simple roll and move doesn't really have anything to do with the property. Just the crap games that they would put out. Back in the day, because at least with a Monopoly reskin, you're at least getting Monopoly out of it. Which I read this column one time. And in it, there was just like, it was like a paragraph. Hey, Service. But it was this, just a paragraph of a defense of Monopoly, and you're like, why would anyone defend Monopoly? But I mean, it was in terms of game design, and the author made some really, really good points about how the mechanics of Monopoly still teach people things about gaming, about player elimination, and having to make choices, or how you make choices, and having like, I'll have to find it, and like I should do just like a general board game video about it. But I mean, let's be honest. Monopoly's been around 100+ years, or whatever it is. It's still bought and played today. And actually, one thing that I think the article that I was reading said was that usually our attempts to fix it break it. Like the biggest complaint about Monopoly is usually that it takes too long. Well, that's understandable, but like, how many of us, when we play Monopoly, put the $500 into the middle of the Monopoly board, and then whenever you land on free parking, you get and then like any taxes, whatever, get put into the middle of the board, and then whenever you land, whoever lands on free parking gets whatever cash is in the middle of the board. Well, we may think that that's a fun addition, but the problem is it introduces more money into the system than is supposed to be there. You know, or people that put in quote unquote IOUs to or not IOUs, but like get extra money for Monopoly. That's one of the biggest crimes, because apparently Monopoly is supposed to have like an absolutely fixed monetary supply. You know, so if there's no money at the bank, guess what? You don't get money. You know, I mean, keep in mind the game was developed in the 20s. It was a diatribe against capitalism and real estate development. So yeah, it's, you know, like having lots of extra money in the system is not how you're supposed to play Monopoly. So yeah, Shadowcat, everybody cheats at Monopoly. Let's be honest. So, Grim, you've watched my painting videos in the past. Of course, I'm putting a wash over this. Let's be reasonable. I need all the liquid talent I can get. Yeah, that is one of the problems. I mean, this is a 15-inch model. Like, there's all these little details that normally I would just straight up ignore on a model, or just let the wash pick all the details out. But you've got to go in and work on those little tiny details. Because they're so much bigger, they show up so much better. So I'm just trying to do as do it as cleanly as I can. I really don't want to have to go back in and touch up the face colors. Sorry, folks, I get quiet when I'm trying to concentrate. I'm also struggling to not, like, I have to rest my hand a little bit, but I'm trying to like minimize the amount of touching that I'm doing to the model because I don't want to transfer my hand oils to it. Just because that'll be its own mess. All right, we're going to experiment a little bit. Which, yes, I realize completely could go horribly sideways. A Krogan? Is Wrex a Krogan? Fun fact, you're wrong. I don't know anything about Mass Effect. Yeah, I explained that at the very beginning of the episode to Shadowcat. I have played all of about an hour total of Mass Effect. I was commissioned to do this by a friend of mine. And I'm only a bit over a year since it really should have been done. Ooh, that worked out really well. I'm just dry brushing, but oh, that came out great. Like, my reference photo is straight up. Like, I can tell it's airbrushed. I hate the setup, cleanup, and breakdown of an airbrush, which is why I don't use one. Dry brushing with a texture palette. No, this is not a texture palette. This is Wrex. Although it kind of reminds me of a texture palette. But yeah, so it's not great, but the color's more or less right. The wash will absolutely help blend it. So Oh, I really like that. Me, you, and Twisted Metal 2. I don't have Twisted Metal 2. I mean, it's Monday, so of course I'm going to do a paint stream, Kevin. If you've got a setup going, we could probably do something joint. Ah, that's a little too much. All right, we're going to try something. All right, so I put way too much dry brush on there. So surface for the scars. I've literally been sitting here thinking about that. At the same time. And I like... So the catch is like these scars right here along... Okay, to pick up on what Shadowcat is saying. So these scars right here, you are right in that I wanted to wait until after the red, but I'm going to put a base layer in using this mix that I've already put together. But then like there's these little offshoot scars here that I'll mostly just leave that to the wash. But the rest of it, basically, I kind of like this mix that I put together, and I don't want to waste it because I don't like. I just eyeballed it. So it's not getting mixed again, is my point. So I'll do this, but then the wash. The wash will fix it. To put it simply. But Seraphis, you've also watched a lot of my paint streams, so you know that I am not ashamed of using wash. I mean, this whole face needs to be taken down a shade or two anyways, so that's absolutely going to happen with the wash. All right, Night Shadowcat, thanks for hanging out. Good to see you. I have some Gundam liner pens. I have never used them. I think I know what box they're in. But yeah, Gundam. Best practices for Gundam models is its own level of hobby. I get Gundam kits from time to time because I like big stompy robots. But I struggle. Oh, do I struggle with watching Gundam. I thought Gundam Wing was absolute trash. Like the main character was a 90s emo kid. Oh my gosh, I wanted to slap that guy. And in general, like I like the mech designs. Like I absolutely love the Gundam designs. Like the samurai look. The whole deal. I really like their designs. But maybe it's just the voice actors. You know, but I've just found Gundam always boring. Like, I watch Gundam and I just want to fall asleep. Eighth MS team isn't bad. But in general, like, every Gundam that I've tried to watch, I want to fall asleep. I think 8th MS Team and Seed are like the only ones that I've watched all the way through. But yeah, absolutely hated Wing. And you're right, modeling is modeling. I am... As dumb as this is going to sound, I'm somewhat resistant to learning new techniques. The main reason being I want to accomplish something or feel like I've accomplished something when I'm painting. And so just practicing painting has to have an end result. You know, I'm not like to paint something and just absolutely hate how it comes out. Oh my gosh. That That frustrates me. So, like, just watching YouTube videos about new techniques and things like that, just I struggle. I mean, Kevin's right. You should master what you know. So for me, it's usually like I'll get an idea in my head of how I want something to look, and then I'll try it. Like, I'll just experiment with my own way of doing it. But I struggle just like going and learning a technique, which is dumb. I realize that that's dumb. It's just how my brain works. It's the impatience. Like I struggle because I just want to get things done sometimes. It absolutely is the ADHD. All right, so I didn't realize I didn't have that in the. And you're wrong. I totally understand, and I don't disagree. And it is not something I will ever do. I refuse to repaint models. Once they're done, they're done. Well, let me rephrase that. That's not entirely true. It's mostly true, but it's not entirely true. And I say that because I like last year before, during my Monday and Friday paint stream, I was like cruising through getting a bunch of stuff done for Star Wars Imperial Assault, and I'd done a lot of it, but it was okay. It was very basic. I didn't use any washes or anything, and so I took the models out, and I didn't really change them, but I'd add like a couple of extra details, maybe a little bit of dry brush, definitely hit them with a wash. So that I took what I had and just made it pop a little better. But yeah, tearing a whole army, like you said, your first orc army, you got halfway done and decided you hate everything because you'd improved so much, and so you just started over. Like, nope. All right, so what I'm doing now is I'm actually going back over with another dry brush of the same base color to kind of lighten back up the high points. Mostly because I hate what I did over here. Like, that turned into, oh, can't see it. That turned into a mess. But I don't want to lose the semi-airbrush look of the dry brush. And it's not coming out, so let's do this. That's not coming out great either. Experimentation. Oh, that actually worked out really well. So I just put some paint on it, and then I'm sort of spreading it around with the dry brush. That's much better. Much better. All right, I'm going to let the wash fix that. Yeah, most of the rest of this I'm going to let the wash do. You know what? Let's try it. All right, I want not dark tone, I want strong tone. Strong tone. All right, mostly because I just want to see if the face is going to come out like I want it. Okay, already I can tell that the color is going to be much more where I want it. This brush is not big enough. But overall, I mean, yeah, this is coming out well. My house is being invaded.
What are you talking about?
Say hello, children.
Hog.
I'm live on the internets.
Oh no.
Hi.
The Chitlins say hi, everybody.
Protein bar. Perfect.
Don't eat my protein bars.
You can't stop me. I'm the gingerbread man.
Ah! That was too much. Too much. Too much. I waste so much wash. Because I'm like, oh, I need I'll need this much, and I put a whole bunch of it onto my palette. I rarely need that much. So it's not perfect, but it's definitely much more where I want the colors. Thanks, Grim. All right. Let's do this. Because I am going to end it here in a couple of minutes, folks. That way the family doesn't have to tiptoe around. Meow!
What, you think I'm gonna tiptoe around anyways? Come on, you should know better than that by now.
You might sit.
It's okay to take your nap right now.
You already took a fat
It's okay
nap.
to take another one.
I love my family. Sometimes it is really frustrating when you're trying to do a live stream. All
See,
right.
but it's because we know you have a live stream that we intentionally make it all the more frustrating.
I know that's what you're doing.
There you go. Jane, why would you reach in the bag when it's cold?
One day I'll have a man cave.
Yeah, and that day you'll be depressed because everyone is out of the house.
That's true.
Including your wife.
Including my wife. All right. Okay, so yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with that. Gotta let that dry. I put that in there because I think it'll blend pretty well when I do some dry brushing on it. But yeah, overall,
What was your flavor?
like I mean, obviously outside of doing the eyes,
Man,
but I'm pretty happy with how that's coming out.
toward the end. Like, I
So
had, like, 3 different energy drinks a week.
yeah, exactly, Grim. That's the funny thing. Like I know some of those things because I've experimented and tried them before, and they happen.
Oh, I agree.
But anyhow, all right. Well, on that note, now that I have to let that dry, and because everybody's going nuts in the house, yeah, exactly. I've got to do the carapace on the head and everything else. So, thin the wash and do one more pat. I will try that, Kevin. But for now, we will leave it as is because I've got to let it dry. All right, everybody, thanks for hanging out. I know it was kind of short, but I appreciate your time. And sorry for the craziness. Have a great weekend, everybody.